Hi, Bright Lights. Welcome. My name is Tina. I wanted to come on today and talk about several things that are going on in the collective and in our energy fields that you may be feeling. I know I've been picking up on a lot of anger and rage and a lot of these very lower energies that have been stuck for some time in our collective and are getting ready to let go. Now, this reading that I'm going to do, because I'm going to pull some tarot cards and get some oracle messages, may not be for everyone. For these readings are going to be for those that are ready to start their journey to a higher level of awakening process. So these are people that are ready to go to the next level. These are people that have been through a lot of trauma, a lot of, you know, feeling like an outsider in their families, in their work environment, really feeling the heavy energy of the place that they're in. So this is kind of a new birthing process that is happening for a lot of people that are in the awakening process. So there's a lot of symptoms that go along with that. But the reason that you chose such a difficult journey is because you are here to help during a very difficult time in raising the frequency of the earth and the frequency, of everyone, of raising consciousness overall. It's heavy lifting, and it's each individual light worker's job to do it for their particular family. So you may be the only one in your family that is even interested in spiritual concepts or different philosophies and treating people with kindness and seeing the bigger picture, right, of how we're all connected, or at least starting to put some of those buckets in a row that start to make us wonder, hey, there's more going on here than meets the eye. There's more going on here behind the veil. Many of you may have had near life death experiences. You may have seen things other people haven't seen, you know, because you are already connected to the other side, and that's what you came here to do, is to connect and to bring the energy through and to help those of lower vibration to help raise their vibration through your own actions, how you live your life. And again, this isn't right or wrong or any judgment. We didn't come here to save the planet. So I don't want this to come through as some idolized thing that we're doing, that we're above other people. This is a mission that we came here willingly to help with, and we knew it would be very difficult. We knew that we would be tested and that we would be ostracized and put on the outside, and that it would be a struggle for us. But by learning more about ourselves and how we grow and evolve, we are going to come out the other side. This is, again, it's something we chose. So it is definitely, we're all starting to find ourselves through people like myself on, speaking about this publicly, and other people that you may be listening to that is starting to resonate with you, some of these higher consciousness ideas. And again, this is for the highest will and good of all. And I just want to make sure that you understand how important you are here, that there is really is something special that you're here to do. It isn't about, being a billionaire or any of those things. Has to do with energy and how that affects everyone, including the planet, and what that means for all of us. So the first thing I like to do in these readings is I do a little bit of channeling to my personal guardian angel, Infinshala, to give us kind of a sense of what's going on with us right now. And so this is what was channeled. Time to cut out the BS and start your process to the light. We are all working towards the same goal. Things will start to feel tighter and tighter, like a vice has been placed on you. You are in the birthing process now. You are developing a new identity and shedding an old self. It's okay to feel sad. Grieve that old self. Have a short ceremony if you need to. Then let it go. The new you is emerging. It will start as an energetic shift only. Not much will happen in your outside world because it's all happening on the inside. But slowly, you will start to see your outside start to reflect your new energy. Be patient and kind to yourself and to others. Right when you are ready to throw in the towel, the light will start to shine again. So I thank Infant Shala for bringing through those words of encouraging because I have kind of felt that kind of very up and down in my environment with my family, with my world, with, I still have one foot in the corporate world, one foot in my spiritual world. So there's these new identities and new shifts that are happening. So let's pull some cards so I can get an idea of what's going on in all of our worlds right now and the people that are going to be. Again, if you're attracted to this video, it's because there is something in it for you. So the first card we have is the Four of Wands in reverse. And so this is, some insomnia. So the energy might be you've been having trouble sleeping. I know I have been very up and down, waking up a lot during the night. That is very unusual for me, even as I've been doing my spiritual work for a while. So this is also starting to think things over. So and that means when I say thinking things over, because we have to be careful about trying to do everything through the mind. We always want to be sure to be connecting the heart energy as well. But thinking things over as to how you want to see yourself. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want the planet to look like? It's all about this process of envisioning, not just for ourselves, but how do we want the world to be? More com com communication, collaboration. I know for me, even working in the corporate world, I have left, a job because there just was a lack of dignity and respect for people, for work-life balance, for their health and well-being. It was all to serve their goals and their desires, and that is not healthy for people. It has to be this more collaborative energy. And it is not that all of us light workers are supposed to just walk away from everything and go into the mountains and meditate. That is not what we're here for. We can affect change in our places of work. We can bring peace to that before we start to really follow our own bliss and what it is meant that we came here to do. So hang tight. This isn't about having to leave your job. Even if you aren't feeling like it's a vibrational match, that's okay. Things take time. This isn't about anybody putting themselves in harm's way either. Like I said, I left a job, but I had another job lined up that was more in alignment with me as a person. And so that has been working better for me as I continue to do my inner work and continue to start to make videos teaching people what I have learned through my own process and my own traumatic events. So the next card we have is standing your ground here. Again, this is about, even if you're in the battle here, it's about taking the higher road. This isn't about, condemning people and being overly judgmental. This is about taking the higher road and implementing boundaries as well. This is not about enabling people to treat you as, again, as a doormat, as treating you kind of as this commodity, using you, using your energy. That is not what this is about for us, but it is about for us. We're going to be a little beat up in the battle here. That's something we knew would happen, but we are on the higher ground. So that means we're kind of, coming up into a more stable energy. And again, this is the 7 of Wands. So this is more inspirational action. 7 is tied to the heart. So this is the time where we really want to be in our heart space when we are involved in situations, even if they're uncomfortable, and making sure that we are putting ourselves and others first as a group, not in a selfish way, not, which we're seeing, I believe we're seeing in our societies is an uptick in the level of narcissism that is almost an illness that we're seeing. People that are undermining others for their own gain and using others for their own gain. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that epidemic in our cultures going on right now of this narcissism trying to grab a hold. And that's all very fear-based energy. So yeah, so things are, we have the 6 of Swords. So things are a little bit stormy right now. And that's what I've been feeling too. I have been feeling a lot of very, very stormy energy. You may have people trying to create storms around you as well, being very mean and this won't be for everybody, but a lot of family issues going on. You're really starting to see maybe you were the scapegoat. I took me many years to realize this role that my family kind of had put me in. And the fact that even though I have done a lot of work on myself and I've changed, they continue to see me in this particular role and treat me in a certain way that is very demeaning and gaslighting. And so, again, this is for you to see that there's a lot of water energy. So there's a lot of emotion around this as well. And this could be, again, we aren't here to save others. We're here, remember, to do our inner work, raise our frequency, because that's how the light's going to come through, to raise the frequency of others, especially because, again, whatever work we do on ourselves affects our family line. It affects our ancestors, future and past. And so we start to create these new worlds. But right now we are in this stormy period because there is a lot of this fear that we need to transmute. And abusive, when you see swords in reverse, it can be a very, because it's swords are about, the mind. And so this is a lot of paranoia and fear and projection and gaslighting that's going on. So it's a little bit rough. It's rough right now. We're all in this together. You're not alone. Your guides and angels are with you on this path. So please hang tight, because again, it gets heavy before, and then it will get light again. And again, we know it's not like we're heading to, you've heard this concept of more fifth dimensional energy. We're in the 3D, fourth dimension is more of the love and time, and then we go into more of a fifth dimensional energy, but we never leave the third dimensional. It's about raising the frequency. So that's about things getting better for people, things getting I don't want to say easier because I think that's a little bit of an illusion as well. It's not about easy, being easy, but kinder and softer. And that energy is more heart energy, caring about others. Yes. And so here the next card is the death card in reverse. And so this can be near death experiences you could have. I recently had somebody in my family cross over to the other side. But this is a very transformational energy. And we are in the thick of it, which again, I've had some headaches. I'm normally not a person who gets headaches and who just kind of feels funky. And I've been feeling very funky. And that's, again, a lot of this energy is leaving and it fries us that are very sensitive empaths. It's very frying. And right now you're going to get pulled back into a lot of old patterns. So be aware of that, old things that you thought you let go of. So just watch for that. This isn't a fear card. Like I said, I lost my brother earlier this year, which was a complete shock to our family. He did not have any severe health issues but was very caught up in a negative cycle in his own life. So sometimes those things can be very hard on us, and we end up, you know, our soul agreements are to transition to help others, and we make that agreement before we ever come in. And so you may have gone through some of this as well, and it's okay to take some time to grieve. Just watch those old patterns starting to come back through again. So here we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And so this is, again, a very, like I said, there could be someone around you that is really bringing in some very chaotic energy, some very toxic, selfish. So this is very narcissistic behavior. This is the actual action of the behavior. So you're, like I said, you might be seeing this. You might be looking at estrangement from your family. You may be thinking that over when we saw this Four of Wands, where you're doing some real deep dives, thinking about, hey, what's going on here? Is this in my best interest? Because again, our family is our biggest opportunity for growth, but it is never meant for anybody to put up with abuse of any kind. That is not something we are meant to. It doesn't mean that it happens to all of us, but it's not something that we're meant to keep enduring. So if it's a cycle that's repeating over and over, it's something that you need to walk away from. So let's see what's going on. Oh, and here is this wonderful King of Cups energy. So this is the support in the environment, the support from either somebody who's in your environment that you can go to, or it can be somebody like myself on YouTube, or somebody that is that emotionally supportive energy. So this could be you. This could be the person that you are, the one who always takes the higher road, even though it is so hard sometimes, the person that is very stable and secure, and everyone else around them relies on this person. So then you have to also be careful of over giving of your stability and your energy, and making sure that you're being safe to yourself. It's okay to give as long as it is in balance and that people are not taking advantage of you. And so we do have some the Seven of Pentacles, another seven coming through here, where you may not be very happy where you're at, or what has, counting your pentacles or whatever, maybe you're feeling a little bit unstable about where you're at, but trust, this is going to get better. This energy is definitely coming through better, and this going to be some quick energy coming through to help that again, this is like fighting for the underdog energy. This is the knight rushing in to save the day. And, but you don't want it to be too impulsive. You want to go with your intuition. But I always notice the horse in this energy, and the horse is kind of looking back like, are you sure we should be rushing in here that quick? So you might just want to make sure you're reading the energy correctly, because we don't want to be too impulsive. So I'm going to, so I wanted to pull one more card. So now we have the Four of Wands in reverse. And so what is going on? This is the final card I'm going to pull before we get a few oracle messages. This is us, just what Infant Shala talked about, doing our inner work and not seeing necessarily the results on the outside, because the Four of Wands in reverse is all about laying a foundation, the foundation for this, the happy community, the happy where everybody is pleased with their, it's, fairly shared. People are, there's prosperity across the board. There isn't this huge swing in people being pushed out of their homes. And so this is what we're doing, is we are laying the foundation for that better life for everybody. So I want you to definitely hang tight. And no, I'm going to, at the end of this video, we're going to do a health and healing incantation. So it's divine healing is based on the ask and you shall receive. And so we're going to just clean up some of the healing that we have been doing on our journey to open up some of that energy. And so the first card that came out is, right now is the most important thing we can do is trust. Trust that everything is working out like it is supposed to. Trust that the universe has our back, no matter what is going on in your life. Like I said, we need to continue to do our inner work that may not immediately be reflected on the outside, but it will eventually be reflected. It doesn't matter to us how long that takes. We have to keep trusting and knowing. Because what's funny about this picture is there's this boat off to the side, but it looks like it's halfway underwater. So, like I said, we're feeling pretty exhausted right now. We're pretty much really, we're going to get a burst of energy. Infant Shala has been talking about that. That's not going to happen overnight. But I feel like more in the beginning of the year, sometime, we're going to really get a boost of energy. So the next card I want to get pull is from the angel. Doing your so blessings and abundance is coming through right now. So it's, again, identifying where in your life you can have gratitude and know that you're blessed, know that you have abundance, even if it isn't in money. It could be, there's so many things tied to abundance. It could be in food, it could be in just a great apartment and a nice bed. And, the fact that we have electricity and heat, those are all things that are very abundant for us. So the more we can capture that energy of being abundant, the more then we can, of course, create abundance in the world. So let's get a message from the elementals here. So before I do the readings, I call in the angels, and of course, Infant Shala is one of my guardian angels, but I call in the elementals as well. So we're going to get a message from them. And so what I'm getting is music. And this is what I did last night, is I just played a lot of my favorite songs and I sang. For me, singing is just so releasing. It not only stops, and singing songs that are very positive, that aren't pulling you back again, playing music, but the right kind of music, high frequency music. So again, we don't want to be playing music that makes us think about a betrayal of a lover, or how how some country songs, they can be very much about victimhood, and any song, even rock songs, but anything that is about empowerment and taking your power back is all very good high vibrational music. And so finding the joy in music, and so there's 28 at the top, so which adds up to 10. So this is a cycle that has been playing out for us. And I see the full moon on here. So maybe in another full moon's time, when the full moon, we just have been through a full moon, which may have been really hard on some people. I know it was on me. I don't know how my placements were in my astrological chart, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were pretty severe, because I felt this particular full moon. And any full moon can be triggering to some people, depending on where the placements are in your chart. So yeah, this is great, because you can see through the frequency of music, you can see the new growth on this violin. And that is what we're trying to birth into, is the new growth of the new self, and letting go of that old self that we've outgrown. A new way of being, I call it. Yeah, so this is the initiation we're going through right now, the rite of passage and crossing the threshold. So here is the path up through the opening there. We're kind of climbing up this tough last rungs of the initiation, but it looks very beautiful. We've got the purple, which represents a higher level of consciousness, and that blue, which is, tied to your emotions and your throat chakra, being able to talk with clarity, something I'm having trouble doing right now. But there's a lot of darkness going on around here. I mean, this is nothing to, I might be giggling a little bit, because I always try to find the humor in, oh, here we go again. I thought I had worked through a lot of this stuff, and it comes back in layers and in layers, and it can be very exhausting for us light workers. So I nothing but empathy and compassion for anyone that's struggling right now. And you see this lightning bolt too. So it's stormy right now, and that's okay. That's all by design. Let's get a message quick from the animals oracle before. Okay, and here's a couple more. Two came out. And so the first one is the deer spirit. And deer are all about, again, I probably say this a lot, this gentleness that the light workers bring through, the King of Cups energy. But when you see deer, they're all about abundance. They're a soft energy. They have to watch out for the predators, right? But they're very abundant in their world. There's always enough food, and they're really good at finding food. And so this is all about the gentleness that is the light workers, that what we bring to the world. And this is the 18, which adds up to 9. So when we're in this particular birthing of the new self, we're in that end stage, which gets a little rough. So when you're shedding that old ego, there can be a lot of depression that comes with that. So be very aware of how you're feeling, and if you need medical assistance, because when you're shedding, we can get confused with the ego, and the ego death is something that can be very hard on a person when you're letting go of those ego stages. So be very aware of your thoughts and how you're thinking, so that you're not going too dark into too deep of, we call that the dark night of the soul. And if you need to reach out and get help, from a medical professional, please do so. And then the next one is the lion spirit. Be generous of spirit. So lion spirit connecting with that heart energy. This again is a 37, which adds up to 10. Threes are all about the master coming into self-mastery. 7 is tied to the heart, like we had just said before. So another heart energy. So being generous of spirit, dropping into the heart energy, because that's where real power comes from. This is a powerful being here, this lion energy. So tap into that as best you can right now. And we're going to get one final message from the keepers of the light. These are ascended masters. So what guidance do they have for us right now as we continue to work on that new self? And what's coming through is this very purple energy is divine order. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So that's a beautiful message. Let's see what that says in the book on Lady Portia. This powerful goddess is a figure of justice and peace. She brings order and opportunity to every experience. As a lord of karma, she also regulates the law of cause and effect. She helps us recognize the impact of our judgments, choices, and actions on ourselves and the world. She is the twin flame of Saint Germain, who is strongly connected to the violet flame energy. Together, these twin flames can work as overseers of legal situations. Justice is an energy that's about honoring everyone involved rather than punishing bad behavior. Lady Portia helps us to do what is right morally and spiritually for our soul's growth. Right now, a call for justice is being brought into your space. Even if this means you will lose out, there really is no loss in the highest state of truth. Act from the heart, see the other person's point of view, and surrender your pride so that you are coming from a loving space. If you've made choices that weren't in the highest good, admit it. Through this honesty, you're releasing any karmic bonds of anchors of fear from your energy. Take the time to learn from this situation. And if you are involved in any legal issues, know that Lady Portia and the angels of justice are gathering round to honor everyone involved. And the best thing that you can do is always say to your angels and guides that you want the highest outcome, the highest and best outcome for everyone involved in any dispute. It's hard to give up that, hey, I want to be right and I want to win, or what we think is winning. But again, we want to make sure that we are that we are doing whatever the masters want is in the highest and best good of everyone. And it may be something that you may not be seeing at the time. So those are great, wonderful words from Lady Portia. And I work a lot with the violet flame energy. So what we want to do is open ourselves up to more health and healing as we go through this process of birthing that new identity. And so we hold many beliefs that limit our ability to fully embrace healing and thus limit the degree to which we can find the wholeness within ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I want you to repeat after me, and we're going to ask our healing teams to help us to break anything that may be holding us back. And so we want to do it in this way. Healing team. I am grateful for the awareness of these programs that are blocking my access to perfect health and healing. I am willing to now let go of this limiting reality as I embrace my wholeness. I willingly and completely choose to be freed from all these programs, multidimensionally and to the point of creation in the highest and best good. Please create wholeness, alignment, and balance at all levels of my being to embrace full health and healing. I open myself to receiving all the healing energy that is available to me in the universe now. Please go back to the point of creation and heal it to completion now. Thank you, angels and guides. Now, please go back if you need to, but you're going to want to say that a few times and then allow for these shifts. You may not see any immediate shifts, but you should feel an opening happening, hopefully within the next few days. So we always want to do our healing work and do it with grace and ease. We don't want things to happen too quickly. We want our bodies to be able to adjust accordingly, as the body's a little bit of a denser energy and it needs some time to adjust. So I appreciate you for being here today and listening to the messages. And I hope this has helped you in birthing that new identity that's coming down the road for you. I thank you for being here. And I just want you to know how important you are. So never forget that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.